Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Idress. Today we're gonna talk about the literary criticism of Joseph Addition. Though he was also a poet and dramatist, Joseph Addition, 1672 to 1719, is best known as an essayist, and indeed he contributed much to the development of the essay form, which, like the literary form of the later, flourished in the 18th century together with his friend and colleague Richard Steele, whom he had known since the school days. He authored a series of articles in the periodical The Tattlers, 1709 to 1711, and The Spectator, 1711 to 1714. It was his ambitions to bring the philosophical, political, and literary discussion within the reach of the middle classes. He was also a politician as well as a writer, holding a position of Under Secretary of State and Law Lieutenant and the Chief Secretary for the Ireland, as well as being a member of the Whig or the Liberal Party from 1708 until his death. Steele too was a political liberal, and the two men used their periodicals for the literary, moral, and educational purposes. To these ends, they offered character sketches of fictional personages which commented on contemporary issues and manners and offered satiric portraits from a broadly humanitarian and largely middle-class framework of value. The essay, as developed by these two writers who wrote anonymously for the periodicals, was both a personal document as well as an attempt to probe the truth of things in a dramatic and varied manner, but ultimately for the moral enlightenment of their. The essays were journalistic in much as they addressed a cross-section of the topical events and concern ranging from close codes of conduct, fashion, and dress, marriage, conviction, to political propaganda. Catering as it did for an increasingly literate middle-class leadership, the Tatler was immediately popular, and its undoing was its involvement in political partisanship. Committed to Whig or the liberal causes, it saw the downfall of the Whig Party and was increasingly attacked by the Tory press as the Conservative Party rose to power. Only 2 months after its demise, in January 1711, the two writers launched The Spectator, which they managed to keep free of political partisanship. This latter periodical became famous for its characterizations of factious personae, such as Sir Roger, Sir Ariel, and William Honeycomb, which were conducted with a vitality and currents that affected subsequent novelistic writing. After the closing of The Spectator in 1712, Addition and Steele launched the Quotidians. This, however, never achieved the popularity of its predecessors, and it was the Tatler and The Spectator in their reprint form which continued to command a significant reading public through the 19th century. Most of the valuable literary criticism is contained in the pages of The Spectator, which had included extended series of essays on more serious issue, including the philosophy and literature, in an attempt to mold and refine the critical taste of its readership. Those tastes were poorly confined within a neoclassical schemes of values, trying on Aristotle and Longinus, as evident in the essay on wit, tragedy, and Milton's Paradise Lost. Yet they also made use of more recent observations, such as those on psychology by John Locke. In 1711, the year in which the Pope's essay on criticism attempted to distinguish between the true and false wit, Addition attempted the same task in number 61 and 62 of the Spectator. In the first of these, he argues that puns and quibbles are species of false wit, with the exceptions of the Quintilian and Longinus. None of the ancient writers he sees made a distinction between the pun and true wit. In his second piece on wit, Addition finds Dryden's definition of wit as a property of words, and third, adapted to the subject to be broad. It could apply to all good writing, not merely to wit. Spectator 108. He preferred John Locke's definition in his essay concerning human understanding between the wit and judgment, and cited above. Locke had argued that those endowed wit and those capable of judgment are not usually the same person, since involved diverse procedure. In 1711, the year in which the Pope's essay on criticism attempted to distinguish between the true and false wit, Addition attempted the same task in number 61 and 62 of the Spectator. In the first of these, he argues that puns and quibbles are species of false wit, with the exceptions of the Quintilian and Longinus. None of the ancient writers he sees made a distinction between the pun and true wit. In his second piece on wit, Addition finds Dryden's definition of wit as a property of words, and third, adapted to the subject to be broad. It could apply to all good writing, not merely to wit. Spectator 108. He preferred John Locke's definition in his essay concerning human understanding between the wit and judgment, and cited above. Locke had argued that those endowed wit and those capable of judgment are not usually the same person, since involved diverse procedure. On the basis of Locke's definition of wit, Addition produces a definition of false wit. Whereas true wit consists in the resemblance and concurry of ideas, false wit is produced by the resemblance and concurry of single letters, as in anagrams of syllables, as in a doggerel, rhymes of words, as in puns and quibbles, and of the entire sentences. Addition suggests that in additions to true and false wit, there is hybrid species, which he calls mixed wit, which consists partly in the resemblance of the words and partly in the resemblance of ideas. Such mixed wit, which he finds in writers such as Cowley and Ovid, but not in Dryden, Milton, the Greeks, and the most Roman author, is a composite of pun and true wit. Thank you very much. The second part of the same topic would be discussed tomorrow. Thank you very much. If you have not yet subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel to share my videos, and also comment your valuable feedback below the video. Thank you very much.